Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our mummy treat holder. Very excited to finally be crafting Halloween stuff. We took a little poll before we got started on all of our Halloween projects, and I think that we did a pretty good job delivering the goods, as they say. Got a little bit of everything for, a little bit of something for everyone, I should say. So anyway, let's start off by just putting together this little caption. We've got 3 layers here, and what we're going to do, so let's just start by putting together this little caption. We have these 3 layers here. This brown layer is going to go on top of that back gray layer, and again, this is a little system that we've devised to make it easier to do captions without having to put down every single little letter individually. Okay, so we'll get our glue on our brown layer, pop it right on top of that layer there, press that down, and then we can grab the actual trick or treat layer. Now those little cutouts there are essentially the little middles for letters like R, well in this case R and A. So go ahead and get your glue on there. Just go easy on the glue here. We don't need a lot. It's a relatively small little piece. Okay, and we just want to match that up with the entire piece here. Just make sure the sides are aligned with and the bottom's aligned, and then you can see how the caption just kind of naturally falls into place. Now this gray color that we used, I did ink that with a little bit of brown to distress it a little bit. Okay, next, let's put together the little container. As you can see here, it's one piece, and what we're going to do is we're going to apply glue to these little tabs here. And I'm going to spread that glue out to the very edges. These should go together pretty quick. Now, we wanted to kind of find that happy medium between, you know, having just enough detail where it's not boring, but also not having so much where it takes eternity to put it together. So I think we got it. These are going to be pretty easy to mass produce. I think that maybe, well, it depends on their dexterity. You can be able to get your kids involved with this. So taking this next tab here on this other side and joining it to the adjacent wall. Okay, and that just leaves 2 more tabs here. Now be careful while you're working with black paper. I know that I use my finger to kind of push that glue around, and you want to make sure you wipe your finger off in between so you don't accidentally get that glue all over your beautiful black paper. Okay, so we're going to tuck that in just like we did the other 2. Line that up. You can also put that down on your table and press down, kind of speed things up a little bit. There we go. And then we've got one more here. We got to tuck that tab in, and we'll kind of bring it down a little bit so we can get our nozzle in there. And if you want, you can kind of use the nozzle to spread that glue around. I don't think that's very efficient, so you could either use your finger, but because it's in such a tight space, I recommend getting out a little scrap piece of paper and just kind of using that to push that glue around. It's definitely more accurate. Okay, line it up and then press it down. Here we go. Hopefully, might have had that off camera. That's okay. You get the idea here. All right, perfect. Now we have this little piece. This is just a little liner. It's going to go in the bottom just to kind of stiffen it up a little bit. And just pop that right into place. Give us a nice little housing for our goodies. Of course, the caption is going to go right on the front there, like so. Should have a nice even border going all the way around. And just throw a little bit of glue on there, and then we're going to put our little mummy together. He's very simple to put together. Okay, so again, nice even border all the way around. Try to get it nice and centered. Press that into place. You can also put that down on your surface and press down. Okay, there's our little container, and now we just have to put our little mummy together. Okay. All right, so he's pretty straightforward. This brown layer is going to be our back layer, and we're going to build him up from brown to a dark gray to a light gray to a white. So first we're going to take this piece, and you can see here I pretty much inked this whole project with just black. And I think that's all you really need. I guess it depends on what colors you use. Obviously, that's why I don't typically state the colors of inks that I use in my videos, because I don't really know what color paper you're going to use. And I guess if you use the same color we use, then it would apply, but not everyone does that. I don't want to throw people off. Okay, so let's just get that lined up as accurately as you can. And we just put into production a new Cricut Maker 3. We had the original Cricut Maker doing all the work. It served us well, but I do think this one's a little more accurate. All right, next we're going to go with the lighter gray. And we do have quite a few little odds and ends here, little areas that we need to make sure that we get some glue on, especially like this little pointy area here. Don't overdo it on the glue, just nice and easy. And if you happen to get too much in any one particular place, just kind of dab it with your finger, thin it out, spread it out. That way it doesn't create a mess. Okay, so this guy here, this bottom part, look at the bottom first. A little bit's going to be hanging off, so I kind of goofed up as far as the placement of my glue. I did add a little bit of glue onto a section here that doesn't really need it, but you get the idea. And that's okay, that'll dry. It's not going to harm anything. And just make sure you get this little guy right in place. He's sort of free floating, almost has a mind of its own. And he's kind of hanging on by a thread, so just be careful not to rip it. Okay, let's get this little eyeball piece into place. Actually, why don't we just get both eyeballs in place? Now we're into the white sections. So let's do the large eyeball first. And that's going to be flush up against the gray, but also you can see there's little markers there to help you with the positioning of that eye. Get that right between the little markers. And then we have a little small guy here. This one just needs a tiny little bit of glue, not a lot. Just like that. And again, find the markers and just line it up right with those markers. Yeah, and it's almost like the dirtier the better with this guy, because he is a mummy. And he's been somewhere that probably isn't the most sanitary. Okay, we have this little black piece for his eyeball. It's very tiny. If you have a pick-me-up tool, now might be the time to use it. And that's going to go flush up against the straight edge of the white, which means it'll pretty much meet with the gray as well. Pop that right into place. Let's grab the larger eyeball. Just a few little dots of glue. Don't overdo it on this, and then you can also hit it with your finger just to thin it out a bit. And pop that right in there. Try to get that as centered as you can. There we go. He's looking cute. Okay, now we're going to start, well, we have one more actually. This little piece here needs to go on next. I have one more little gray area. You can see exactly where that goes. So let's get that in place. And then we just have a few little white pieces. That's going to go right there. So you can kind of use that as your guide. And then of course it's going to be flush with the rest of this as well. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to start applying these white pieces. This one here is going to go on that middle section there. Go easy with the glue. Pop that right there. There we go. Okay, next we have this little piece. This is going to go up here. It's kind of like a little nub at the top. We're going to put a little stitch up there, and that's just to help you with the placement for the stitch. But this is going to be flush with the bottom part of this gray section. just like that. Next we have this little guy. He's going to go right there. Let's get that glued into place. It's going right there. Try to line that up as accurately as you can to hide all that brown. There we go. Now this part here, this is going to be flush on the bottom left, but then flush with the top right, like this. Okay, so it's kind of going from here to there. Pretty easy. Fun little project. Won't take long at all. Definitely spend an afternoon and make up a ton of these. Set your Cricut to cut out as many as you want. Do a little assembly line thing where maybe you take care of all your inking and then just kind of just go from there. Okay, this little piece is going to go right here. Okay, with the point pointing down. So that's going right here. See exactly where that goes. Just like that. And we have this little guy. He's going to go right here, like so. Nice and easy with the glue. Just kind of match up the bottom of it first, and the rest of it will sort of fall into place. There we go. And you can see exactly where that's going to go. Right over here. Just match up that little bottom section, and then the rest will fall into place. There we go. All right, let's get his mouth in place now. His mouth's going to go right here, like that. And it's going to be flush with that white, the top of the white. Okay, and you can scoot it over to the left or to the right. There's maybe an inch, not even an inch, maybe a half an inch worth of area where it will still look right because it'll be flush with that white. There's not exactly any markers there, but you'll get it. Pardon my head if it's in the way. There we go. There's that. And then we have a larger stitch, and that's going to go in like a little puzzle piece down here. Just need to rotate it a couple times and make sure that we get it in the correct direction. And you could literally just put one dot of glue on that. As long as it stays in place, you'll be fine. There's that, and then the final one up at the top. And that's going to be kind of pointing to the left a little bit, I guess you could say. One dot of glue. Match it up with that little nub at the top, just like that. And there he is. Okay, so you can either glue this down flat, or if you want to use some foam squares, you can, but you can obviously see where that's going to go. So we just need to get that glued into place. And don't put glue on the little material there that's hanging off, just on the brown part. Okay. Now be careful here, make sure you get it right the first time. You don't want that glue going all over the place. And there we have it. Okay, so once you have it lined up, you can put that flat on your surface, press down, and he is ready to go. This little guy is ready to be filled with some treats and delivered to a friend or a loved one. So that's going to do it for our mummy treat holder. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new product, whether it be paid or free. And if you make anything from our Monster Mash bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Treat Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 40,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.